listen to me. I would love to work with Eddie. Eddie won't return my call, so maybe one day we'll have a conversation. But I think Eddie got to a place in his life, like, look, I've done it all.
I love my wife, and I'm not gay, and I'm not, and that's what's weird about this, to have your sexuality questioned.
Who's Eddie Murphy really avoiding? At 64, the comedy legend still works with many, but there's one name he won't touch: Tyler Perry. So, where did this silent beef start? And why has it gotten so personal? Some say it's more than creative differences. There have been whispers about both of their private lives, the kind Eddie shuts down hard, sometimes with slick clapbacks. But behind closed doors, insiders say this feud runs way deeper. Tyler Perry's journey is straight up inspiring. After a rough start in New Orleans, he moved to Atlanta in the 90s, chasing dreams in theater. His big break? The 1999 play I Can Do Bad All By Myself, which introduced the world to Medea. By the 2000s, Perry was a powerhouse, building his own studio and putting countless black artists on the map. But even with all that success, rumors have followed him, especially around his personal life. Unlike many in Hollywood, Perry keeps things locked up tight. No partners, no public relationships. That silence? It's fueled speculation for years. Industry folks say it's no accident. One longtime exec told The Hollywood Reporter in 2018, "Perry's careful. He knows the risks of being boxed in as a black man who doesn't fit the Hollywood mold." From his style to his roles, people have read into everything. Some say it's just branding, others think it's personal expression. And as a known ally in the LGBTQ+ space, especially during Georgia's 2021 backlash, Perry's silence only adds more layers to the mystery. Tyler Perry has shown public support for LGBTQ+ rights, but still keeps his own private life under lock and key. That silence? It sparked years of gossip. And for a powerful black man in Hollywood, the pressure hits different. Hollywood has always been obsessed with Perry's personal life, especially since he stayed single during most of his rise.
Let me ask you a question.
Yes.
Are you going out on Black Friday?
What the hell is Black Friday? Every Friday is Friday. I'm black. That's a Black Friday. What you talking about? I don't even know what the hell a Black Friday is.
For some, that made him a mystery. Others figured he just didn't want his relationships in the spotlight. But insiders say the way he carries himself, his polished image, unique style, and those larger-than-life roles like Medea has only added fuel to the speculation. Still, Perry's never confirmed or denied anything. He simply lets his work speak louder than any rumors. And that's by design. A diversity advocate once said, "For someone like Tyler, privacy isn't just personal, it's protection." Especially when your audience includes loyal, church-going fans who expect a certain image. The bigger issue? Hollywood's long history of using sexuality as a weapon, especially against black men.
I'm serious. Y'all running around here talking about some I outed Tyler Perry. You can look at Tyler Perry and tell that he's quite gay. Tyler Perry's been gay for a long time. Long before I met Tyler Perry, he was gay.
In Perry's case, keeping quiet might be the only way to keep control in a ruthless industry.
Hello. All right, everybody, please shut up. I'm Donald Trump's new communication director because all the rest of them sorry asses got fired, and they only left with me.
But here's where it gets even messier. The rumors around Perry may be why Eddie Murphy keeps his distance. Fans have noticed that despite both being giants in Black Hollywood, they rarely interact. And folks are talking. Murphy himself has been targeted by rumors since the 80s, even before the internet made it worse. With both men facing similar gossip over the years, some believe Eddie wants to avoid anything that might bring more heat. The tension? It's not just about who they are, it's about what Hollywood wants them to be. Back in 1997, Eddie Murphy was pulled over in West Hollywood while giving a ride to a transgender woman who also happened to be a sex worker.
Police say he picked up a transvestite prostitute on an infamous stretch of Santa Monica Boulevard.
Deputies conducted a traffic stop of the car a few blocks away, at which time they learned that the driver was actor Eddie Murphy.
No charges were filed, and his team said he was just helping someone out. But the media ran wild with the story. It lit a fire under years of speculation about Murphy's personal life, and he's been trying to shake it off ever since. Insiders say that moment left a lasting mark. And it's part of why Eddie has kept a tight grip on his public image. One source told Variety that Murphy avoids anything that might reopen old wounds, including working with someone like Tyler Perry, whose own private life is constantly under the microscope too. Eddie knows how fast things can spiral.
Winston Jerome,
Yes.
who is very lightly veiled as Tyler Perry.
Yes.
Winston Jerome is a closeted cross-dressing cult leader whose love of the Christian faith is a mask for his true sexuality. From what I understand, Tyler Perry was furious over this. Furious.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
The insider said, being seen too close to Tyler could stir up narratives he spent decades trying to kill. Fans have noticed the cold vibes too. Some say Murphy has been low-key shady toward Perry, keeping his distance in a way that feels personal, not just professional. And in a business like Hollywood, where image is everything, that distance speaks volumes. For black male celebs especially, the stakes are higher. Between stereotypes and expectations, even a whisper of scandal can be career-ending. That's why Murphy has always been private. From his early SNL days to blockbuster fame, he kept his personal life off limits. But the tabloids never backed off, especially after that 1997 incident.
How you feel about Tyler Perry?
He strikes me as somebody that does not like manhood.
Whenever Eddie did speak out, it was quick, defensive, and sometimes came off as harsh, a way to shut it down before it got louder. Analysts say that was survival mode.
Or whether it's drugs. It's his business, it's America. But I want somebody to start pushing manhood because I've seen 50 years worth of televised emasculation.
In the 80s and 90s, Hollywood wasn't kind to anyone who didn't fit its mold, especially black men. So Eddie stayed guarded, picking roles and partnerships that wouldn't trigger new gossip. And whether folks realize it or not, that caution shaped his whole career. That 1997 moment in West Hollywood blew up fast. Eddie Murphy was pulled over while giving a ride to a transgender woman. And even though police found nothing shady and didn't press charges, the headlines ran wild. His publicist said he was just being helpful, but the damage was done. The media took that one moment and ran with it. Suddenly, Eddie's whole personal life was under the spotlight. For a man who always kept things private, it was overwhelming. And ever since, those rumors have followed him everywhere. Even though he never confirmed or denied anything, that night became a turning point.
What do you think about the rumors about you and Eddie Murphy having a relationship? What does Eddie say about it?
We've always been tight. Eddie could care less about it. And Eddie's always been Eddie. And if anybody that knows Eddie, Eddie lives Eddie's life, and he'll look at you straight up and tell you, hey, keep messing with me and I'll hit you with my wallet and knock you out.
One that shaped how people talked about him. In Hollywood, all it takes is one misunderstood incident to flip public perception, especially when privacy's already hard to protect. For black men in the 80s and 90s, the stakes were brutal. Just hinting at something outside the macho image could mean lost roles or being shut out. That's why Eddie guarded his image so hard, and why teaming up with someone like Tyler Perry, who faces the same kind of speculation, could bring heat Eddie's been trying to dodge for years. Critics have slammed some of Eddie's old stand-up and interviews as homophobic, but others argue it wasn't hate, it was survival. He was under pressure, and those sharp jokes or comments were defense mechanisms. When you're constantly being grilled about your personal life on public stages, it's no surprise you snap back. Over time, Eddie's softened. He's admitted regret over past comments and seems more open-minded today, but that past still shadows him. So when people say Eddie's avoiding Perry out of beef, it might be deeper than that. It could be about staying clear of media chaos and protecting an image he spent decades trying to control. For Eddie Murphy and Tyler Perry, keeping their personal lives under wraps isn't just about privacy, it's about survival. With the spotlight always on them, they've both had to guard their images to avoid being picked apart by the media. But there's more to the distance between them than just rumors. One major factor: competition. Eddie changed the game in the 80s and 90s. Iconic characters, blockbuster hits, and a legacy that made him a legend in black entertainment. Then came Tyler Perry, who didn't just act, he built an empire. He wrote, directed, and produced his way into becoming one of the most powerful figures in Hollywood, telling black stories that mainstream media used to ignore. Now, both men are at the top but not on the same team. Insiders say there's tension over who truly represents black Hollywood. Eddie's crew has stayed silent on Perry's big projects. Perry's team does the same when it comes to Eddie. It's not messy, but it's cold. At award shows or public events, the vibe between them is stiff. A nod, maybe a handshake, but never warmth. Fans and media stay on watch, reading into every little gesture like it's a chess move. And on social media, it's a full-blown analysis war, decoding body language, shady silence, and guessing what's really going on. But this quiet rivalry speaks to a bigger struggle. Black men in Hollywood are boxed in, expected to act a certain way, play certain roles, and stay inside a narrow image of masculinity. When rumors creep in, they're not just gossip, they're potential threats to a whole career. So maybe this isn't just about two powerful men who don't vibe. Maybe it's about what they've had to protect just to survive in a world that still questions their every move. This kind of spotlight ain't just bright, it burns. Eddie Murphy and Tyler Perry have spent years walking a tightrope, protecting their names while dodging rumors that never seem to fade. They've both had to guard their personal lives, keep their circles tight, and stay in control of how the world sees them. But that kind of pressure, it wears on you. And sometimes it puts even the biggest names at odds. Until Hollywood gets real about respecting privacy and showing true acceptance, this kind of silent tension will keep creeping in. The Eddie and Tyler story isn't just about two legends not getting along. It's about how fame forces people to build walls just to survive. Because behind the red carpets and cameras, there's a constant battle for dignity, trust, and peace. What do you think really keeps these two apart? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that like button, subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one.